I'm the Global Runner and we are halfway through my marathon build to the Montreal Marathon, where I hope to run under 2.5 hours, aged 50. And before we get into this episode, I just wanted to reflect that the whole purpose of this series was to see if I could still achieve fast times aged 50. And I've got to say, I think I can. I think I have proven that even aged 50, you can still knock out some fast times, and with serious effort and consistent training, you can still achieve what you're hoping to achieve, even in advancing years. So I want to check that box and recognize that I've done this for the 5K and this for the half marathon already in this build, and these are times that I wouldn't have thought possible at the start of this year. And so I think I've achieved what I set out to achieve, which is proving that age is not necessarily a limiting factor for me at this stage. And so all I've got left to do now is to go out and execute a sub 2:30 marathon. So let's see if I can do that in 6 weeks' time in Montreal. So what did Tyson the physio say? Well, there's a bit going on actually, and it all starts with my foot. So I'm gonna switch on this camera. I've got a bit of pain in this toe joint, like stiffness. And if you look at it, I've covered up my toes because I think that would be a violation of several YouTube policies if I didn't. But this joint is bigger than this joint, which is never good. And so there may be a little bit of arthritis in that big toe joint. And that is possibly the root cause of some or all of these issues. I think what's happening is the stiffness in the right foot is causing me to overcompensate with this quad. This quad was super tight, and so that was impacting the knee. So Tyson needled all of this, which was great, and really tried to loosen up the foot. In particular, he needled the back of this calf down here, which was super tight, which was overloading the big toe joint. And I'm always going to have a bit of stiffness in there if this is arthritis, but you can take the pressure off it. So that's what he was trying to do there. Also, most importantly, is the physio exercises. I need to do eccentric loading. The other thing that I've been doing is sort of wall sits to make sure that there's not a ton of movement while I'm strengthening the quads. So that's the plan. Strengthen the quads, make sure the toe isn't overburdened, and hopefully that will get me through. And then we'll see where we go. I mean, if it is arthritis, that's something I'm going to have to manage, and I'll do my best. But, you know, that's part of an aging body, I guess. So if anyone has any advice on dealing with arthritis in the foot, the big toe joint in particular, I'm all ears. Like, I would love to hear if you've got any knowledge whatsoever about dealing with it, in terms of what shoes should I be wearing? Should I be taking any medication, any pain medication, or the types of foods that I should be eating? So any advice, gratefully received. But with that, have a look at the training sessions that I was able to do this week. So if any of you watched the episode where I created my training plan for this training block, you'll remember that I wanted to remain flexible, and I think this week really shows that need. So you can see there were 3 main sessions in this week: Friday, Sunday and Tuesday, and the rest of the week was just pull running, cross training, trying to keep off my toe and trying to give my knee a chance to recover. So I think that's what I've got to do for the minute. I've got to nail the good sessions and make sure that I really execute those. And I may actually have to switch to a strategy of less mileage and more high aerobic sessions. So that's the plan for the next week, and that was what I did this week. We've already seen Sunday's session, so let's now have a look at Friday's session and Tuesday's session. Okay, so it is Friday morning and we're going to test it out. And these first few strides are going to be interesting. Warm up, see how it feels, and then maybe just unleash it a little bit. Well, pain-free after 4 cautious steps. Okay, so you can all comment about how stupid I am, but I did that warm up and I felt like I needed to test it. So I did 45 minutes with the aim to be at 6-minute miling, 3:43 a kilometre. But of course, I was super rested, and so I went a bit faster. The knee felt okay. The foot is the issue. But I think the plan is to do a lot less running, in the sense of I'll do the quality sessions and then I'll swap out the recovery runs for like a pull run or a cross training thing, just until I get on top of this. We'll just see how things go, one day at a time. So again, I probably shouldn't have done that 45 minutes at a little bit of pace, but I needed it mentally. Sometimes you just got to do what you need. I think a lot of people watching can probably get to grips with that concept. Sunday was the long run, which you've already seen, which left Tuesday, which was 5 miles or 8k at marathon pace. It was a little bit faster than it should have been. That's the problem with being rested, I guess. You want to hammer each session. I mean, it was hard. I should have probably just eased off a little bit. We're at elevation. There's a ton of reasons why 5:45 would have been good enough. But that's another good session. That's a key session that I wanted to get done. And I did it. So now we're going to have a bit of a rest and see if I can race a half marathon on Saturday. And then depending on how that goes, we'll look at the rest of it. And so these are interesting times. We're still 6 weeks out, so there's still plenty of training to be done. I think I need to concentrate on being fast, but I've got to tolerate these injuries first. So let's see where we end up in the next week. And in particular, let's see where the race, the half marathon, puts us in terms of fitness. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget to mash the like button, and I'll see you on the next one.